So next session is the evaluation session. This is a session where the general evaluator, along with the other evaluators and the fact team, slice and dice the entire proceeding of the meeting and give us the feedback so that we can get better at our craft. To lead us through the session, may I call up on stage the general evaluator of today's meeting, Toastmaster Godfrey Soames.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
How did you enjoy the meeting?
Awesome.
Awesome. Great. And for people who have been here for the first time, this is something very different or unique experience it might be. Have you heard those words? Light, camera, action.
Yes.
And then suddenly, a very harsh voice calls out, cut! And then you find the director or somebody going and pouncing at the performer and telling him something, this is not the way you do, this is not the way, and maybe get so demoralized. But friends, Toastmasters is the only platform where we don't say cut. Instead, we applaud, cheer, and pep them up with a particular element called feedback. We treat them with kid gloves. We embrace, encourage, and empower them on the way to the journey to success. Now, sending a message that success is not final, don't be complacent. You need to handle it the way you go on sharpening your sword to reach the pinnacles of success. Now, as on today, as we dissect this meeting as general evaluator, we're not critical, it's only my personal opinion and the personal opinions of the evaluators, dedicated evaluators, you'll find them. What I want to tell you is, the first thing as the meeting started, and before the meeting started I was here, and I could see the enthusiasm, especially, I was talking to Abhay, the change is constant, but I found it, today's meeting constantly changing, the role takers, everyone. As we entered, I came to know that today's Sergeant at Arms is instead of Simran, it is Neha. Neha, where are you? One thing, as a Toastmaster spirit, rain or shine, lights or no light, we started the meeting on time. Kudos to you. We started the meeting with the right kind of spirit, and what about success? Giving us a different kind of stories and how we could emulate them so that we don't just be complacent and we can move ahead. That's wonderful. All that I could say is she was rather very confused because she's doing it for the first time, I suppose. The kind of responsibility in a corporate, I would say community club is too many. But instead of getting so much, she managed to get a lot of help and she saw to it that the shop was very beautiful setup and everything went to the T. Thank you. And as we move on, she also introduced the President so very well. And President, as usual, with his kind of charm and the smile that he is, and a good leader, and he's been leading this club for the last 2 terms. What I found is, he stuck to the theme of the topic, but something that I would like to tell you is, you read it very well. At the same time, if you could add a personal story or characters in that, where you could emulate a particular theme where the success is not final, it's the courage to continue that counts. It would have been more easy for the audience to relate what exactly you want to or you want to lead the meeting to. Otherwise, a wonderful meeting and a wonderful introduction to the members as well as the guests. I love it and kudos to you and give him a big round of applause. Next we have the induction of the new members. It's really, I should congratulate the team for inducting 5 new female members to the club. We were always saying that this club has a wonderful strength, but we lack the women power. But then I'll tell you where is Mr. Karunakar Dev. He did a good job of inducting 5 new members. First I thought he's actually inducting a family into the family. He said Priyanka, Sonia and all those things. Nothing to take away from it. Then I reserve my comments on the TOD for today. I'll come to that later. Now I would like to call upon the evaluators for the first speech which Akib gave to the Pathways project, and I would like to call upon Mr. Dinakar to give his feedback on the speech.
My dear Toastmasters and Akib in particular, first of all, it was his second speech after the icebreaker. So I would imagine that all of us should first give him applause for having What I liked in the speech, Akib, were bouts of exceptional delivery when it came to your personal stories and some of the examples where the gestures were flowing naturally and you had an outstanding connect with the audience, and that was something which I really liked. And at some point of the speech there were also some examples given, and with the examples you then connected that to some concepts. That also was really exceptional. In terms of the overall speech, there were bouts of this which I felt very, very interesting, and that's where I see your talent in, because of you being a natural storyteller. I think you have that inborn talent in you. You need to just bring it out. That's the whole message I want to give. In terms of what you may want to work on, transitioning from one story to another, there possibly it may have been maybe the practice which you did, or it would be something to do with the preparation itself. That you need to really get back and analyze, just to make sure that the transition happens very smoothly. And here you may also want to try on recording the speech during rehearsals or mock sessions. You could do a self-assessment of yourself. That could give you more flow. I think you are a natural speaker, so you have the flow. It's just a question of making sure that the flow is maintained. And where I feel you could challenge yourself would be to start with a crisp beginning. I think your beginning was good initially, and after that you went on prolonging it. Really didn't give any gap for audience to either react or clap or laugh or think. And that possibly lost the tempo after some time. Then finally, use the connect with the audience, which you are capable of, to maintain the tempo as well as to do the pausing. I'm sure you would be a great speaker. Wish you all the very best and all the success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dinakar, for the clinical evaluation. Coming to evaluation of the Pathways project, it is really a bit challenging because we don't have the right kind of structure. We are probably on the way of on the journey of learning. We will be able to find the right points and the way we can do it, because it's a little open-ended. I know it's challenging, but nevertheless, nothing to take away from the evaluation Mr. Dinakar gave. You have given the right kind of direction. At the same time, a little evaluation from myself as a speaker, which I am not supposed to, but still I said, every time you were saying, right? See, here it is. You don't have to get the affirmation from the audience. This is your feeling and it's your gut feeling that you are telling. Success fuels passion and not the other way around. And you need to know this is the value that they want to take home and they lead this audience, as they lead this call. So that you always have. This is the point I want to make, and be sure that they will be in sync. Right? Okay. Give them a big round of applause. Next, I would like to call upon Mr. Vaidyanathan to give his evaluation on Nikhilesh Level 2 Pathway Project.
My dear Toastmasters, welcome guests, and the speaker education particular way learning. Okay, the speaker today spoke on a subject which we can easily relate with, and he spoke about the art of managing two bosses. So I'm going to evaluate this particular project based on 4 key areas. One is the clarity comfort, content, and vocal variety. 3 C's in 1 week: clarity, content, and comfort, and then vocal variety. There are a couple of areas in which the speaker really excelled. One is the clarity with which he spoke. He spoke with absolute clarity, and he used words which are very simple, and we were able to easily understand and relate to, isn't it? Yes?
Yes.
That's a job well done. And then he spoke with absolute ease. He was comfortable on stage. He came to stage and he had that voice, and he peppered his speech with a lot of humor. Unless and until you are very confident on stage, you will not be in a position to use humor. So he was comfortable. So job well done. Having said that, there are a few areas where you could have really improved upon. One is the vocal variety. You spoke about 2 distinct characters. One, a boss who is authoritative, and the other one who is a bit democratic. Obviously, you cannot have the same pitch and grade for 2 different bosses. When you're talking about an authoritative boss, you could have used a faster pitch, or you could have raised your voice. I need this report today. This is what an authoritative boss will speak like. When you are talking about a democratic boss, or what is the other boss called? People's manager. You could have said, what is the process that we are going to follow? Maybe you could have lowered the rate at which you spoke. That could have given a clear sense of clarity for each and every one of us to figure out whether you spoke about authoritative or a democratic boss. And then you also spoke about content. This is where I think you lost the plot. You spoke about 2 A's. One is attitude and the other one is aptitude. And you also went on to say that if the attitude is bad, we will make his life miserable. Leadership is not about making someone's life miserable. Leadership is about upgrading someone's life. But you use the term, we will make his life miserable. So what is the key message for each and every one of us who are seated here? Right? So that is not what you were supposed to do. Maybe a bit of tweaking in the content would have made it better. And finally, you could have also spoken about different types of leadership and explained a bit so that the audience can easily understand. So overall, very good speech. You are a gifted speaker. You have got inbuilt humor in you. So all the best for your future speeches. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vaidyanathan, for the detailed evaluation. Of course, variety is the spice of life, and when you have variety, that time you can manage 2 bosses, whether one at home, one at office. You can do it. Thank you for that wonderful evaluation. Give a big round of applause to Vaidyanathan. Now I move on to the table topic, madam, for today. Sudeep. In spite of the technical glitches, she could manage the plan because she had introduced the table topics which people dread, and most of them you will find after the break, you will find a lot of empty chairs. People give their names and you call out, it's not there. But she made it sure that you feel at ease at home, that table topic is nothing to fear about, and she made it so innovative so that the spontaneity of people coming forward and giving their names and felt unfazed by the direct topics that will be thrown at them. And everybody cooperated, and wonderful topics and very innovative, and everybody handled it so well. Nobody was felt that she was being thrown into the fire. But everybody held dealt the topics so naturally. I loved it, and the way you put the people at ease. A big round of applause to the table topic. Now I come to the table topic Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Gopal Pai. Ganesh Pai. These Pais are always getting confused. The name sounds, the Pai, Kamath, Shanois are known for their industriousness. And here is one more Pai in our club, which should be proud of. And a wonderful story which he told us about success, especially the story so well connected with the theme. At the same time, when you are telling a story, if you want to have the correct connect and the right kind of attraction of the audience or the audience's attention to you, there should be something which is called a conflict in the story. When the conflict is there, it builds interest. And here we found, he gave a story, at the same time the conflicts were there, the results as well as the interviews, and then how he manages, and then he came to the topic. So very well done, this very well woven, and you did it so flawless. I really appreciate you, and I think you're doing for the second time. A big round of applause to Mr. Ganesh. At the same time, now we will be having a business meeting, so I just want to rush. I would like to call upon the tag team to give up their reports. First, I would like to call upon the art countess Shahina to give her report.
I'll try to keep it short. For Akib, you had like a crutch word, 2 crutch words, which you use for 5 times, and right, which you use for 9 times. Nikhilesh, you had crutch word of right, which you use for 7 times, and so, which you use for 4 times. The detailed report I'll submit to the General Secretary, and you guys could go and check. Thank you.
Round of applause. I would like to call upon the Romanian Jainu to give this report.
The word of the day, phrase, was used by Sudeep Kaur's rise to the best of my knowledge. In my opinion, the good usages of English language were, bluntly said, headed for a double whammy, emotional roller coaster, movement was reselected, world is at your feet, set the world on fire, elephant-sized memory, extreme bombos, bubbling with questions, decibel meter, bombed like hell, dog eat dog world. And not so good usages of English grammar were, despite of this, which should have actually been despite this, success careers which should have actually been successful careers, believe in faith and hope which should have been have faith, research on Harvard should have been research in Harvard, go through the all hard work should have been go through all the hard work or go through hard work, is depend on your mind, is dependent on your mind.
Hello everyone. Today everyone par with the time. Only for the prepared speech session, Nikhilesh exceeds 59 seconds, and for table topic, Rajesh exceeds 7 seconds. Thank you.
Members, today's magic number